Welcome. We are about to take a journey across a single country that somehow contains some of the planet's highest mountains, its most fertile plains, and its most ancient landscapes. Yep, we're talking about India, a land of just incredible geographic contrasts. So let's dive right in. It seems kind of impossible, right? I mean, how can one country hold landscapes that feel like they belong on completely different continents? You've got ice-capped peaks and then sun-scorched deserts. India really is a land of extremes. Well, the answer is actually pretty simple, and it all comes down to this one number, 6. You see, India can be understood through its 6 major, very distinct physical regions. Each one has its own unique story, and we're going to explore them one by one. Our journey starts way up in the far north, with a colossal natural barrier that has for millennia shaped the subcontinent's destiny. We're talking, of course, about the mighty Himalayas. You can almost think of the Himalayas as India's great protector. As the world's youngest and highest mountain range, they're still geologically active. They're still growing. This massive wall does two absolutely critical things. First, it blocks those frigid winds sweeping down from Central Asia. And second, it traps the summer monsoon clouds, forcing them to release all that life-giving rain across the entire subcontinent. But the Himalayas aren't just one single wall. They're actually made of 3 distinct parallel ranges. So, let's start at the very top, with the towering snow-covered peaks of the Himadri. Then we move down a bit to the Himachal, which is home to these lush, beautiful valleys like Kashmir. And finally, we get to the Shawalik foothills, which kind of gently descend into the Great Plains down below. And as all that snow from those huge mountains melts, where does it go? Well, it feeds the rivers that have created our second major region, the vast and incredibly fertile Northern Plains. This region is famously known as the breadbasket of India, and for a very simple reason. It is the agricultural engine of the entire country. We're talking about a land of unbelievable fertility. So what's the secret? Well, it lies in 3 great rivers, the Indus, the Ganga, and the Brahmaputra. For thousands of years, they've been depositing this rich alluvial soil, creating a massive, flat plain that's just perfect for farming. So it's really no surprise this area supports one of the highest population densities anywhere on the planet. All right, journeying south, we leave the young plains behind and arrive at the geological heart of India, this ancient, stable landmass known as the Peninsular Plateau. And the contrast with the Himalayas just couldn't be more stark. I mean, while the Himalayas are geological newcomers, brand new, formed by colliding tectonic plates, the Peninsular Plateau is one of the oldest, most stable landmasses on Earth. It's a piece of the ancient supercontinent Gondwana. And all those ancient, hard, crystalline rocks make this plateau a literal treasure chest. It holds these vast reserves of minerals, things like iron ore, coal, and manganese, that form the very bedrock of India's industrial economy. So from the ancient core, we're now going to move to the really diverse edges of the subcontinent. Here, we'll find a trio of completely distinct landscapes: the arid desert, the lush coastlines, and the remote islands. First up to the west, you have the Great Indian Desert. This is your classic arid landscape in Rajasthan, defined by rolling sand dunes, strong winds, and very little rainfall. A complete world away from the snowy Himalayas where we started. Now, flanking that southern plateau are 2 very, very different coastlines. To the west, the coast is narrow and rocky. But in contrast, the eastern coast is much wider and flatter, shaped by these broad deltas from rivers flowing into the Bay of Bengal. But despite their differences, both coastlines are the nation's vital link to the sea. They're home to bustling fishing communities and major ports that are gateways for international trade, making them these really vibrant centers of life and commerce. And finally, we get to the islands, which, you guessed it, presents another incredible contrast. The Andaman and Nicobar Islands are actually the peaks of a submerged volcanic mountain range. But the Lakshadweep Islands? Totally different. They're coral atolls, slowly built up over thousands of years by tiny marine organisms. Okay, so let's zoom out for a second. When you put all 6 of these pieces together, the mountains, the plains, the plateau, the desert, the coasts, and the islands, you see this incredible geographic mosaic that is India. You know, one of our sources just puts it perfectly. It says that it's this unique combination of landforms that makes India a land of variety, beauty, and rich resources. And that leaves us with a final, really crucial question. We've seen the what and the where of India's geography. But the real story, the interesting part, is the how. How does this breathtaking landscape shape the food, the culture, the languages, and the daily lives of over 1 billion people? Now that's the power of geography. Thanks for joining us.